What if I told you that you don't need six figures to own a car that'll leave you grinning every time you shift gears? In a world where even used Civics are getting absurdly expensive, there's still a handful of underrated heroes hiding in the 10K bargain bin. I'm not just talking about kind of fun cars, I mean genuinely engaging machines with real driving soul. The type of cars that make you fall in love with driving again. Whether you're hunting for a sleeper, a track toy, or just something to enjoy on the weekends, I've got you covered. Let's dive into 5 of the most fun cars you can still snag for under 10 grand, and trust me, these aren't your typical Facebook Marketplace rust buckets. 1. Honda Del Sol C, the underdog, with top-off fun. Let's kick things off with a little 90s flair. The Honda Del Sol C doesn't get the credit it deserves, but for us JDM heads, this is a low-key legend. Born from the golden era of Honda, the Del Sol is essentially a Civic coupe that decided to take its top off and go party. It came with VTEC, had a removable Targa roof, and weighed less than most modern hatchbacks. That means it feels light, agile, and tossable, like a go-kart with headlights. Sure, the base models were sleepy, but the SI, that's where the magic starts. It came with the D16 Z6 VTEC motor, making around 125 horsepower and 106 pound-foot of torque. And thanks to its 2,500 lb curb weight, that's more than enough to have serious fun, especially with some sticky tires and a decent suspension setup. What makes it a gem? It's a modder's paradise. Thanks to its Civic DNA, engine swaps are a breeze. Drop in a B18, go wild with a K20, or even build a boosted D-Series sleeper. The possibilities are endless, and the parts are everywhere. But here's the catch. They're getting rare. Clean examples with uncracked dash panels, working tops, and minimal rust are disappearing fast. If you're after a unique Honda that doesn't scream teenage tuner, this is your shot. But act fast, the JDM tax is creeping up. Oh, and pro tip? Keep a towel in the trunk. Those old roof seals love to leak when you least expect it. 2. Acura RSX Type S, the high-revving daily you'll never get bored of. Next up, let's talk about the RSX Type S. A car that proved front-wheel drive can be fun when done right. This is what happens when Honda hands the blueprint to their best engineers and says, "Go have fun." Under the hood sits the legendary K20A2. It revs to 8,000 RPM, makes 200 horsepower and 142 pound-foot of torque, all naturally aspirated. The VTEC crossover at 5,800 RPM, pure joy. It's like having a built-in boost controller, flipping a switch from calm to chaos. Here's why the RSX Type S punches above its weight. The 6-speed manual is one of the best you'll ever row. It's reliable. Like daily for 200K miles and still make it to track day, reliable. And it's endlessly modifiable. Intakes, headers, coilovers, ECUs. It's a tuner's dream with factory build quality. When you compare it to similarly priced coupes, 350Zs, WRXs, GTIs, the RSX stands out for how balanced and refined it is. It feels mature without being boring. Want more power? Slap on a turbo. Want sharper response? The aftermarket is huge. My take? If you're new to the JDM scene or just want a dependable project that sounds amazing, the RSX Type S is a killer pick. 3. Lexus IS300, the classy sleeper with a Supra heart. You ever look at a car and think, why is this still so cheap? That's the IS300. Lexus gave us a compact luxury sedan and quietly slipped in a 2JZ under the hood. Yup, the naturally aspirated cousin of the Supra's monster engine. The 2JZ GE makes about 215 horsepower and 218 pound-foot of torque. It's buttery smooth, loves to rev, and has that signature inline-six growl. Sure, it's not turboed, but the tuning potential is real. Want to boost it? There are full turbo kits out there that'll turn this into a 400 horsepower sleeper. And let's not forget, it's rear-wheel drive. Paired with great chassis balance and solid build quality, this car is a joy to drive whether you're drifting a canyon or commuting in style. Now, here's the bummer. Only a small percentage came with the manual. But if you find one, or if you're down for a swap, you've got yourself one of the most versatile platforms for under 10K. Plus, the IS300 still looks great today. Sharp, aggressive lines, clean interior, premium Lexus, feel it aged like fine Saka. JDM tip. This is a car that can be classy and rowdy at the same time. Whether you're running a VIP build, a drift setup, or a sleeper turbo, the IS300 wears many hats and wears them well. Fourth, Volvo S60R, the Swedish sleeper no one sees coming. Let's go a little off the JDM path for a second, because you need to hear about the Volvo S60R. This car is weird, and I mean that in the best way. A turbocharged 2.5L inline-5, all-wheel drive, active suspension, and a cockpit that looks like a Scandinavian spaceship. All wrapped in a shell that could pass for a dentist's daily driver. 300 horsepower and 295 pound-foot of torque, plus AWD grip, and an engine that sounds like a rally car's slightly drunk cousin. It's a mix that makes every drive feel special. Sport mode stiffens the suspension, firms up the steering, and unlocks a sharper throttle response. Why is this car so underrated? Because people see Volvo and think safe and slow. But this one's the black sheep. It's refined, but aggressive. Comfy, but quick. Maintenance tip. Keep up with regular service and you're golden. Avoid neglected ones. They can get expensive. And for those of you who like to build your own flavor, there's a surprisingly solid aftermarket for these. Tunes, coilovers, exhausts, it's all there. 5. Mercedes-Benz E55 AMG, the supercharged beast in a business suit. This one's for the big ballers on a budget. The Mercedes E55 AMG. Think of it as the German equivalent of a muscle car, but with leather seats and wood trim. It's packing a hand-built 5.4L supercharged V8 that cranks out 469 horsepower and a massive 516 pound-foot of torque. Let that sink in. This full-sized luxury sedan is faster than some Ferraris from the early 2000s. 0 to 60 in under 5 seconds. In a car that weighs more than a Toyota Tacoma. It doesn't make sense, and that's exactly why it's awesome. Why is this even on a list under 10K? Because depreciation hits German cars like a freight train. But that's your gain. The E55 is understated in the best way. No crazy wings or aggressive vents. Just a wide, low-slung sedan that whispers, "I could gap you at the next stoplight, but I'm late for a meeting." What to watch out for? Maintenance isn't cheap, but if you're handy or have a good indie shop, it's manageable. The drivetrain is strong, and the build quality is next level. And yes, there's a tuning scene. ECU remaps, pulley upgrades, exhaust kits. It's a rabbit hole, and it sounds glorious. So there you have it. 5 awesome cars under $10,000 that still offer real driving thrills. Whether you're chasing track times, cruising with the top down, or just need something fun that won't bankrupt you. From high-revving Hondas to turbo Volvos and AMG V8s, there's something here for every type of car enthusiast. If I had to pick, I'd grab the RSX for a daily, the Del Sol as a weekend toy, and maybe stash an IS300 in the garage for a future turbo project. Which one's your favorite? Drop a comment below. I want to hear your dream budget build. And hey, if you found this list helpful, you already know what to do. Like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss the next video. Until then, keep the revs high and the wallet happy. Catch you in the next one.